and he talked about being a splendid relaunch, and talking about this energy was going to enable us to dissolve the old world and build the new world simultaneously. And it feels like we're right in that space as we speak right now, that energy is what's now coming in as we're seeing the old world dissolve away and the new world being built. Hi everybody, and welcome to From Shambles to Shambala. It feels like a long time since we did the last one. We didn't get one done last month, so here we are now as we're moving through the sign of Cancer and into Leo. We're in this beautiful location called Outerbridge Park, and there's a pond at the bottom of the property here. And as we came in, and this happened to us previously, as we come into the side of the pond literally comes alive. And it starts to vibrate, and all these beautiful little whirlpools created on the surface of the pond. There are little bugs that are there, but it's not the bugs that we're looking at here. It's just the actual energy of the pond itself creates all these beautiful waves. So hopefully you'll see that in the video at some point. It's also interesting that this park in the landscape zodiac here in Victoria is right at the junction between Cancer and Leo. And that's really significant because of what is happening at this time, and I'll explain that in a moment. Let's just back check to the solstice, which was just June 21st, just over a week ago, because that was a turning point. It's when the sun reaches its highest point in the northern sky, stops, solstice, stands still, and it's a turning point. Everything changes as we move into the new energies. What we are wanting to do now is to embrace these higher frequency energies coming down and in through the sun to benefit ourselves as this energy moves forward. This last week of June, there's this incredibly powerful set of astrological events taking place. And one of the key elements is Jupiter moving into Leo. Venus is already there. Mercury turning retrograde in Cancer, reviewing what's just taken place in our inner world, our home, our family, our privacy. Well, now, Jupiter and Venus, having gone through Cancer and done that inner work, are now wanting to express themselves out into the world. And this movement of Jupiter into Leo is going to become really important in the next few minutes. There are other planets changing signs, which I don't want to get into because I want to really focus on this energy of June and July, coming to the end of June, the beginning of July. Dr. David Clements has just done another interview with Pam Gregory, and he's talking very specifically about these waves of consciousness coming through from the higher realms with two purposes. The first purpose is to dredge up from deep inside us all of the stuff that we need to let go of that we haven't yet released. And it's this gift of bringing it up to the surface to be released. So what we mustn't do is push it back down, get annoyed with ourselves, because this is revealing some shadow that needed to be set free. When we can do that, what will happen next is this wave of energy coming in will raise our frequency up to a level we've not experienced before. And he talks about us having these sensations beyond our knowing. There are no words to describe these beautiful energies that we're going to experience. Now, what's really interesting about that is I found out just a couple of weeks ago about this incredible astrological alignment taking place between July 15th and July 25th. And it's called Barbault's cage or basket or cradle. And it's where you've got this incredible geometry between the outer planets, where you've got them at 60-degree angles, 120-degree angles, creating this basket shape. And at the top, you've got Pluto in Aquarius. And then what's happening is Jupiter is moving into a 180-degree angle to Pluto in Aquarius. And then you've got 60-degree angles coming down, 60-degree angles coming down, 60 degrees between those two, and 120 degrees in the crossbars going across. And that creates this basket. Now, this Andre Barbault was born in 1921, died in 2019, 98 years old. And he said he understood this astrological geometric cradle was going to be the most powerful energetic alignment possibly this century. And he passed away obviously some years ago, but this to him was the highlight of this time. And he talked about being a splendid relaunch and talking about this energy was going to enable us to dissolve the old world and build the new world simultaneously. And it feels like we're right in that space as we speak right now. That energy is what's now coming in as we're seeing the old world dissolve away and the new world being built. What we need to do is to hold this centered, calm presence to handle whatever's going to show up in the outer world and focus on our own inner alignment so that we can master this energy and work with it to build this new earth grid coming in. So it's really, really important for us to connect into that. And don't be surprised if you have these absolutely magnificent, wonderful feelings arising inside you. At the same time, on that last couple of days of June, we've got this full moon in Capricorn. And that's important because back in January, we had the new moon in Capricorn when all of this began with Pluto going into the 41st gene key, which is the only start codon. So now, at full moon in Capricorn, this is a 6-month completion of all the 6 months energy that we've just been dealing with. So it's a good opportunity as Mercury turns retrograde in Cancer to take a good deep dive back into what's happened, how far you have come since January, and see this as the turning point where you're now not focusing on the past, the old energy. You're letting go of your old identity, and now you're opening the door into this expansive Jupiter in Leo energy. It's like you're the star standing on the stage, expressing your truth out in the world. Always doing this in service for the greater good. I personally believe, from what we've experienced over the course of this year so far, that July is going to be the most significant month of this year, and that we'll look back on it and say, that was the turning point. So make sure you find time for yourself going within to hold that energetic space inside you. We no longer want to ground into the 3D world because that world is disappearing and dissolving. What we do want to do is to embrace the energies coming down from on high, coming through the sun into our physical being, into Mother Earth, to anchor in the new garden of Earth on the planet, bringing the 5th dimensional energies in. And don't be surprised if you start having some really interesting psychic awarenesses, influences, some precognition, seeing things before they actually happen, seeing auras around people, just knowing things about other people, because this is the expansion of our inner world, and it's going to be phenomenal. So it's going to be exciting, and it will be scary at times because it's stuff we haven't seen or known about before. But it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful future. And for me, this solstice was the turning point for us to move forward in the light. So I wish you well with your endeavors and what's coming for you next in the world. Many, many blessings.